You know, when you're walking the spiritual path and you're trying to become enlightened, it's a lonely one. There's only so many people that can walk that path with you. But I think it's more about quality than quantity. And I would sort of struggle with this a lot in my life because I sort of came from this place of lack when it came to, some of my friendships. And I always sort of strive for more, more abundance there. But what I realize is I have plenty of abundance. And especially at this point in my life, it's not so much about friendships. It's really like, furthering my life, like furthering my careers, like double downing on what I'm trying to accomplish. And, when you go through like a big chronic illness, that really holds you back in so many ways. And sort of for me, I sort of felt like I missed out on a lot of my 30s. I was living with my folks at the time because I couldn't take care of myself. And I think once I became independent and once I had my own place, I was like, all right, let's party. Like, let's get back into the swing of things. And you got to understand, it's like everybody has their own life. Everybody's sort of going for, they're either in a marriage, they have kids, they have their own, personal business. And I think the more that I've begun to sort of accept that is like people are starting to see that within me, and I'm not really chasing anymore, but I'm like attracting, because I'm not trying to force anything, and I'm just trusting and just letting things unfold the way they were meant to be. And again, I'm telling you, dude, I keep forcing this into people, but it's like practicing that mindfulness and just practicing being able to relinquish the control that you have on so many things in your life. It's a skill, it takes time to mold that, but once you get there, like, you'll just be like, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing so in the past? And I've had these conversations with my therapist, and we've talked about like, I was like, why? And she's like, well, you weren't ready. And she's like, now you're ready. And that even goes with this like content creation. Like, I'm so into this right now. But a lot of it too back then is like, I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have the courage to put myself out there. I think a lot of people that are successful on this app, they really don't care. They don't really care. I mean, a lot of times I'll see people, they'll write really shitty comments on my TikToks. A lot of times I'll just like kill them with kindness. Like, I'll just be like, oh, you're just like such a sweetie. Like, shit like that. Because like, why would I entertain more negativity to theirs? Like, that's exactly what they want you to do. So don't fucking give into that shit, bro. You're better than that.